Hey everyone, it's cold. Winter has come, I think. It's getting cold. This one was 3 years old yesterday, and we have a wonderful party. I'm gonna turn the heat on. That means I'm going to make a fire in this one. And if you follow along, you can see that I have a tray here that I take out because when I open the door, there can be debris falling down here. It's the silly construction of this oven that when I burn stuff, it can fall down here between the window and this. And then, of course, it'll fall down when I open it. But it has this little slider tray where it can fall down. Now, what I do is that I rough it around in here, all the ashes and the bits of coal. But I don't take all of it out. I have it around and leave it around the sides. And this is the grill in the bottom. I can just take you here and show you. I'll just turn the camera around. Second. In there, there's that grill. And that grill makes sure that the air comes from under. It's very dark in there. I'm afraid the phone makes it, doesn't light it up so much. Well, anyway, the technique of doing it. I have now done that. I'll take out the ash drawer and I'll empty it in the bucket or in the spade here, because most of it I just throw in there again. It's good to have a bit of a layer in here at the sides. It helps insulate and protect the oven a bit. So that's done. This oven takes shorter pieces than the other one, but what the idea is in this one is to make a layer at the bottom and then put them on each other crisscross so that the air can flow freely and not to fill in too much, because I have done that before and I have ruined the roof of it a little bit. And so now I don't burn it that hard as I have been doing, which has damaged it. And that's, of course, silly. You need things that will light up easily, that will catch fire. And for starting the fire, I always use birch bark because it burns longer than a piece of paper, and I don't get some people use little stumps of candle lights and stuff like that. Then you get all that paraffin and grease in the oven. I don't do that. And I use birch bark because I have it. I have it, and it's a good material. It burns really well because there's so much oil in it. It burns. It looks like paper, but it burns longer than paper because of the oil in it. And that's all natural oil. So I know that it's only wood burning in my stove. Now we'll see if it catches on right away. And close the door. This one is open, this one is open. That's the secondary air, as we call it. And this one is open. It's the primary air. So now it's going. And even if it wasn't, it's not a big problem with this one because this one is closed now. If I'd made a bad start of the fire and it'll die out. It doesn't really matter because the smoke will stay in here. It's a different story with the one in the kitchen, and I'll get to that one on the next video. But with this one, doesn't really matter. Of course, it's annoying, so you should prepare the wood properly to make the fire. But and I think I have with this one. You need sufficient with this birch bark and sufficient pieces of small wood, and then it catches on to the bigger wood. Now, the idea of a fire is that you need three things to make a fire. You need material, burnable material, and you need heat, and you need air. Those three things need to be present to make a fire. If one of them are missing, can't have a fire. So you can see this one is it's just struggling. It is struggling, and we can see the fire building up, the smoke building up. We want that smoke to get up to the roof, in over the roof, and up through the chimney. And it will as soon as there is enough draft. Now the draft comes from out here. It comes from this room. And if I find that there's not enough draft, I can open the window or the door. And that'll help that there gets enough draft in, enough air in. I don't think that's the problem right now. I think the problem is that I didn't have enough tinder and enough loose birch bark. This birch bark sits on the pieces of wood. I don't really have enough of, you can see if it's on this piece of wood, it doesn't burn as good as when it's just loose pieces of birch bark. We'll try to take this off, and I'll just light it up again. And the season is starting, so I will go out and find my big bag of loose birch bark. And if I don't have any more, I will have to get and collect some from the forest. You see, it died out before it could catch on to this because it's too fat. I'm going to put it in there and we're going to try again. If it works out, if you can make a fire going, and I can in a minute, sometimes I just have to make a few attempts because I haven't been careful enough to stack it. But when you can get it going, you need to leave the air vents open for 5-10 minutes or so. It's very dependable on your stove because not two stoves are the same. There are principles about it, and there's knowledge about wood and the point where it catches fire and all these technical stuff. That's of course evident facts that's applicable to everything you do with fire. But then there are the personalities of of the stoves, and this one has that kind of personality where she likes to be started in the middle or a bit to the right. And that's where she catches on the best. And that's, of course, because I have a warped roof in it. And why is it warped? It is because I dried out my firewood too much. And that was before I knew that when you dry out your firewood, and I did it by putting it up here on top of the stove so that it would be completely bone dry. And that's a mistake. It should be between 12 and 15% moisture in it. Why? because when it's bone dry, it burns extremely hot and strong. And I did that last winter or the winter before, and it meant that it really created a lot of heat in a short time, and it actually burnt and warped the roof of it. So don't do that. If it's very moist, if you need to use moist wood, if you have that in your house and you need to dry it out a bit, then dry it out a bit. Don't dry it out completely. That's not good firewood. And I didn't know that. I thought the drier the better. That's not true. 12 to 15% moisture content in it. That's perfect. Now, how do I know when to take to shut down the air holes? I do with this one, actually, when this one starts running. It's a vent that's, it feels the heat under the bottom. It has a sensor there, and it starts at 50 degrees Celsius. And I have noticed that when I think that the flames are where they should be, and that's of course an experience thing, that you can see that, okay, now all of the wood is burning or is starting to burn, and now I can turn the air down a little bit. You have to light a fire many, many times. It's not what you see on this one is maybe not what goes with your stove, but I have realized that when I think that the fire is where it is, that's about the same time as this one starts running. So I use both, my eyes, my experience, my ears when it sounds right. And then I just check this one. When that starts running, I know it's about time to shut these two vents and to push this one in. It's not time yet. There's not enough time in this video to show you exactly when it is enough, but it's definitely not yet. We need a different color of flames, and we need it to catch on. What it does when you burn it from top down is that you get a fire going up here that heats up the wood below it, and the wood doesn't start burning in itself. It releases the gases, and the lighter gases, not lighter gas, but the lighter of the gases release first, of course, and they get ignited. And that's a good thing, because when you make a top-down fire, then the flames are up here already, and when the wood starts releasing the gases get ignited and get burned, and don't go directly up through the chimney. In older days, you made the fire in the bottom and had to heat up all the wood, and when that wood on top of the fire, of the flames, heated up, it released its gases, and those gases went right up through the chimney. You don't do it that way anymore. You go from top to bottom, and that means that all the gases will ignite and get burned and used to make heat instead of going up through the chimney. That's a good idea, and it actually reduces the emission of those gases by 70%, and that's a good thing. We don't want them out in the air. We want them in here where they help to make heat and to ignite. So that's the idea of lighting a fire in this one, and I'll get into the other specifics on a different video if you would like me to. But for now, we need this because we're gonna sit a little and have some lunch, and it's too cold now, so we need to heat up. So there'll be more videos with fire in the fire stove. So have a nice one, keep warm out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.